Welcome to Nykarleby in Ostrobotnia, Finland. We are at the Kuddnäs estate, which is a museum today. It was the childhood home of the author, professor and opinion maker Zacharias Topelius. He was born here on January 14th, 1818, and is one of Finland's most important authors. The White House is the main building at Kuddnäs. The red building on the left is the bakehouse, and in the yellow house there is a cafe and large dining room. The flag is raised. Topelius campaigned for Finland to get its blue and white flag. But we'll enter the White House to meet the Topelius family. Dr. Zacharias Topelius Sr., his wife Sofia, and their children Zacharias and Sophie. We start by looking at the doctor's room. He is a progressive and curious man. On the bureau on the left is a book about human anatomy. The doctor is paralyzed in both legs, so a string runs through the house along the ceiling. When the doctor pulls the string, a bell rings in the kitchen. He receives patients and visits the sick. Next to the tile stove is a bag with all kinds of medications. In the room next door, we glimpse the daughter, Sophie. It's Sunday, and Sophie is allowed to play with her nice dollhouse in her mother's room. In the cradle beside the bed, little Sophie and her 2-year-older brother Zacharias have been sleeping. And it's probably Zacharias playing on the piano in the drawing room. Here the musical family and guests often gather around the empire furniture, a style that runs through the whole house. On the floor are the typical checkered Kuddnäs mats. The eye is drawn through the guest room to the light in the living room. There it is eternal summer, according to Zacharias Topelius. In the most beautiful room of the house, Mrs. Topelius is devoted to her favorite pastime, reading. On the wall hangs the family portrait. The frieze by the ceiling is painted by Zacharias Topelius' grandfather, the church painter Nykarleby Topelius. It's time for Mrs. Topelius to go to the kitchen regions to see if the dinner is ready. In the dining room the table is set with Mrs. Topelius' finest porcelain. In this family everyone eats with a knife and fork. What is Stina the maid doing in the kitchen? Dinner is underway. Stina must watch the sugar cone to make sure that no small fingers can touch it. Doctor's calling. Where's Zacharias? He's probably in his room in the attic. Not a day without a line written, a motto young Zacharias received from his father, so he keeps writing. The world map on the wall reveals that this is also a classroom. On the bureau between the windows there are paper soldiers that Zacharias makes and plays with. The greenery creeps through the windows of the attic room. Kuddnäs is surrounded by a park filled with lush greenery. Here is the play mountain and the hexagonal gazebo. Here everyone gathers for coffee parties, happy and loud socializing. The parrot on the ceiling symbolizes all the talk. The river can partly be seen in the distance. Zacharias' favorite place on the riverbank is a cliff called Blåfinnoberget. The city with its church tower can partly be seen in the distance. The young Topelius is a dreamer. Does he dare to dream that he will one day become a big man in the building of Finland? To become a professor and principal of the University of Helsinki? Modernize the press, modernize children's literature, and become a fairy tale uncle of all the Nordic countries, writing songs and hymns that are still sung today. Here, to his beloved Kuddnäs, for his eternal summer, he returned throughout his life.